Welcome back, everybody. It's the second part of today's episode of RollPlay for Verona, and I want everybody to queue up your favorite version of Ave Maria, because you know that's going to be playing as Crusader Gabriel dives backwards, shooting his two guns at the priest. So a bunch of doves fly out, and suddenly we're in a Hong Kong action movie. So, yeah, I think that you get this look. We cut back in on the smiling face of Talat Lau as he looks over his prisoners, and he sees you. And his heart stops a moment. He recognizes you, and you see him recognizing you, and the two of you lock eyes for a second. Do you want to leap into? Do you want to leap into action? Like everything slows do you want to do something, or do you try to like let him do it?
I think that Gabriel smiles because he knows that he's being clocked. He just smiles quietly. But because you said that with these Trilliant comms, it's like subvocal, like nobody has to necessarily hear us.
That's right. Yep.
I would honestly probably, because I know that Gabriel wants to do right by the team as well, and he knows that he kind of let Nomi down before, so we'll just basically kind of, he's obviously been made. I think he's gonna assume that everybody will know that, and just basically go, Sirius, what do you want me to do? I can engage or I can escape.
Is he just in there by himself, or did we send people in with him?
No, he's just in there by himself. You can have your guys like around, but they're not in the place.
I can hold, yeah, and I guess I don't want to say too much because this is in a moment, but
yeah. Okay. Talat Lau is low on our list of priorities right now, and we don't want to start a big commotion or perhaps a riot in the middle of church. We don't need the citizens of Berkman hating us any more than they already do.
Very well. And yeah, I guess like I'll need to see what he does, because if I can make a quiet escape, then I will.
Sure. Okay.
But
so
yeah,
he's walked
vanish in the middle of this, it's going to cause a scene anyway. So
the two of you lock eyes. He turns and he's got like an assistant or somebody, a younger person, and they come over and he like whispers something to him. They both look at you, and then he turns back to the microphone. And he starts to deliver his sermon, and he starts with, and this is great because the TV show version of this, I would have had a prepared like a sermon directed right at Gabriel, right? Yeah. The sermon that he delivers is one like thematically on point that it's right to you, and he's like, I want to talk to all of you today about broken promises, and like he starts to talk about how the Trilliant Ring and the High Church, they come to Berkman, they promise us progress, they promise us technology, they promise us prosperity, but have we got those things? And there's like some no, and in the crowd, and they're all like fired up, and he says, that's right, because they lied to us. And there's like anger, and you can see him, he's like getting the crowd to a point where if he were to be like, in our midst today we have one of those liars, they would fucking tear you apart. So he's like getting them worked up. Yeah, he's getting them worked up, where he's just basically saying like, to whom does Berkman belong? And they're like, the people. And he's like, and who are the people of Berkman? We are. And it's a religious speech. Like he's saying like, and God gave the earth to man, and this is our planet. And he basically is just like laying it all out for you. Like, I know you're here. I see you. And all I have to do is turn these people on you, and you're a dead man.
So I'm still smiling. Would this all, like the things that he's saying, what I know about the High Church and its tenets and its loyalty to the Empire, like this is pretty blasphemous stuff, right? Is he like been caught up in his anger and has like let slip a bit?
Like, I think this isn't anything he hasn't said before. And there is a degree of brazenness to it.
Yeah. Is it more direct though? Yeah.
He's saying it to you as a member of the High Church, right? He's like, I know your tricks, you filthy off-world liars. Like, we worship the same God, but we do it right and you do it wrong in your floating cathedral with all your money and your science. And so and so it's like, it's not like a huge, it's not a thing that you could like straight up just like stamp out. Otherwise they would. It's not like God is not real and the church sucks. But the idea that a planet, so all the planets in Acheron Row belong to the Emperor because the Emperor is the Messiah of God, because the universe belongs to God. God gave Acheron Row and all of its planets to the Emperor, and the Emperor gave them to the noble houses because the noble houses are the only people who are capable of running worlds in a way that God wants, as God intends. The idea of a planet belonging to serfs is in and of itself distasteful and heretical because God doesn't want serfs to own land. Otherwise, they would have been born nobles. Only nobles can own land.
That's what I was
Nobody can own a
thinking.
planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's saying that is it's gross and wrong. Whether it's like heresy would be up to like a tribunal to decide, but he's definitely not. No, this is wrong.
Yeah.
It's the wrong.
Yeah,
It's
and we've got it on camera now.
Well, and it's an irresponsible thing to tell people. Like he's telling them that like they have like control or ownership over this planet, and it's not. It's just not the case.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
So you all get to hear this sermon through the Crusader Gabriel, and you see this guy, and you all get the same eye contact that the Crusader does, right? Like where he looks at you when he says this particularly fiery stuff, like, you know, there are those who pretend to tell you the truth, but they keep you down, they keep you here, they want to keep you from God's light, and we can't have that. And like, you know, it's not a political speech, but it's politics woven into this interpretation of the high church doctrine.
So probably like when he finishes, as things are like maybe like, you know, people are like clapping or, you know, agreeing and stuff like that, I'll probably try and turn to the guy that like sat next to me and kind of blocked my exit, and just try and be like, a bathroom like trying to give a reasonable reason to leave.
Yeah. Okay. Make a talk and charisma roll.
Hiya.
Okay. So he'll let you leave, but not until the pastor's done. So he like puts his hand on your shoulder and he's like, "By God, hold it, man! This is the best bit." And the pastor is like, "Get everybody fired up," and he kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder and like pushes you gently back down into your seat. And as this is happening, and the pastor is kind of delivering this like the victory portion, it stopped being like I'm trying to teach you anything, and more just getting people like hype, right? Being like, you know, getting them fired up, giving them the emotional response to it. You look around and you see, and all of you spot this. You see that two of these they've sent in the dogs. Two of these tough looking guys are now standing at the door to the church. And they have like pistols. They're not holding them, but they're like clearly out in the open, and they're standing by the door and they're watching you. So they're blocking the exit. Okay. So what do you want to do? You've maybe got like 30 seconds before he's done with the thing, and he comes out and like starts talking to people.
Again, if I just vanish, that's also gonna kind of give things
if you
away.
Just pop and disappear, yeah.
So I think I'm gonna still continue to play it in the like letting him finish, because I think in Gabriel's mind, like he wants to do right by the team and he's gonna do his best to achieve what he's been asked. But if it comes down to a fight, he's confident he can get out. I'll try and go along with like let the guy finish and then just kind of like get this innocent guy, like this guy who's like being my friend, and just kind of, you know, like, oh, bathroom, where, you know, bathroom, like trying to get him to take me to it, maybe, like I don't know where it is, and hope that it's maybe somewhere nearby that I don't have to go past the goons.
Yeah. So he finishes the sermon, and people are cheering and clapping, and he says, "This has been a prosperous time for us in our community. Many people have come from all over Acheron Row to Berkman to see what we've built here. A lot of new faces in the crowd." And he turns and he looks at you, and he says, "Now y'all know me. I like to know the people in my community. I like to get personal. Come on up here." And he's gesturing to you like, "Come on up here, son."
I like gesture at like the guy next to me, and like give him a
and
shove as if like he's
and the
pointed
guy,
in the wrong.
Yeah, and the guy like elbows you, and he's like, "No, he's talking to you, friend. Get on up there." And him and his like the person next to him, they get up to make room for you, and he like basically grabs your arm and like pulls you out into the aisle.
Okay, yeah, I get up.
Okay,
Make my way over.
Okay, so you walk up the aisle, and everybody's like looking at you all happy, and they're like, "Yeah, new friend, like hurrah!"
Yep.
And so you walk up towards the pulpit, and people are clapping and still like kind of talking and chatting because he hasn't seized control of the moment again as you walk up, and so you walk up to him and you get within like range, and he says, like it's quiet, only you can hear him, and he says, "I had wondered when the church would send one of you after me." And he says, "You can kill me here today. If that's what you've come to do. These people will remember. You won't make it out of here alive."
Just under my breath, so only he can hear me as well. There'll just be but Talat Lau, how can a dead man kill you? And then I'll just smile and kind of stand next to him.
Yeah, and so you come up and he says, "Why don't you tell everybody your name, son?"
He just leans in. Valo. I'll just say like a random name, like some name.
Yeah, Valo. Okay, and he says, "And are you a faithful man, Valo? Do you believe in the word of God?"
Yes.
And they're just cheering, like, "Yay, God is awesome!" And they're and so they, everybody responds positive to that. And he says, "What brings you to Berkman, Valo?"
I turn, look at Talat Lau pretty damn hard, smile, redemption, and then I just nod and smile.
And he says, "Redemption. So you come here bearing a guilty weight on your shoulders?"
I nod and look at him.
"Well, there is no better time to unburden yourself than among a community of your peers. Why don't you tell us your sins, Valo? Tell everybody here what it is that weighs down your heart."
Just I look at the crowd. Fear makes me doubt, but now I have God. And then I look
and
at
so the
crowd.
audience is buying it, right? They're just like, "Yeah." And he says to the crowd, he says, "I feel inspired by this young man, by his honesty with us, and I'm gonna keep this one close. He and I are gonna go and have a talk in my office." And everybody's like, "Yeah, give him special treatment. He's cool. We love this new guy." And he says, "Come on, son, let's have a chat." And he puts his arm around you and like leads you towards the office. And everyone in the place is just like, "Redemption, yay! He's gonna get special time with the pastor. Everything's gonna be fantastic." And you see with tears in his eyes, you see that guy that was sitting next to you. He's just like, I made this. So proud.
I look at him, but then I'm looking at him, but I'm actually checking to see if the goons are still by the front door, like the two goons with guns. Does it look like they're gonna follow? Or are they staying where they are?
Yeah, they have seeing you leave, they're in concert. They're like, "Okay, let's go. We're gonna go and we're gonna have special time with this new friend." So they've moved away from the door and they're sort of headed towards the office. As you were coming down, that like assistant, the young man that ran off when Talat Lau saw you, he crosses the little stage area, walks up to the pulpit, and he begins leading everybody in like a song, right? In a song of prayer.
I will.
So you hear that as that starts to come up.
As they start leaning away, I'll sub-vocally get in contact with the team. Yeah, and I'll say, obviously, you are all aware of what is happening. How do you wish me to proceed? Now does seem a good time to move into the compound, if you wished, Agent Graves. Steres, I might have him alone for some time.
I mean, are we going to be able to get past, like, everyone else?
Most of the people
Hey.
in most of the people in the parish are in the church right now.
Right, but that's my point. Like, how are we gonna get
Perhaps
past all of them?
you might be able to find Sybil if there is another entrance into the caves. If she's here.
Am I just really dumb? Because I don't understand what you mean. Like, how are we supposed to get through the church to where you are? And we don't know where the caves exit.
Oh, okay. I thought that there was other entrances into the caves in the
We don't know where they
compound
are, though.
surrounding the church.
If there are, yeah,
shit.
no one knows where they are yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You're like, I'm gonna go into the lion's den here. If you guys can come save me, that'd be cool.
Well, no, it's not even to come save me. Like, I think like he's still kind of. It was more like if I thought that there were other entrances into the caves so that you could search for like the compound, like the rest of their base. But yeah, if there's no other entrances into the caves, then that doesn't make sense. So
Not that we know. I mean, there probably are, but we don't know where they are.
we don't know
And
about
I'm
them.
assuming
Yeah,
that if
yeah,
we
yeah.
go inside the church, they're just gonna stop us. They're not gonna let us follow.
You're
Yeah.
yeah. Do you still so yeah, I guess like yeah. Do you still want me to try and escape, Silas? Now that once I'm out of the crowd, I can make it easier. I did not want to alarm them by using my powers.
Is Talatlau taking you back into the deeper part of the compound?
I believe so.
Oh boy.
That is fine, as long as I'm within 100 meters of I can still teleport myself out, I believe.
I don't know. Well, it seems we have either two options. We can allow Gabriel to proceed and see if he wants to take care of things himself, or we can attempt to infiltrate ourselves, but we'll very likely be spotted as soon as we go inside.
It does appear that most of their actual security are following me. I believe it is just churchgoers in the church itself. You might have a better time than you did before, but it is risky.
Booker?
It is up to you, Silas.
Passing the book. All right. Let me think about this for a second. So, from what we know from Gabriel, most of the security have followed with him, assuming that because he's like the only threat that they can perceive right now. So most of it is just riled up churchgoers that are in the main area.
Yeah.
Some of these riled up churchgoers are like combat capable.
It doesn't make sense though for us to just come in after the sermon. Why would we be coming in after the sermon? You know what I mean? For them.
Yep.
So
Okay,
yeah,
well, you ponder
that's
it.
what Booker
You ponder it
chimes
while
in.
Gabriel is led, because there's not a lot of room, right? You get led off the stage. Someone on the other side opens the door. You get brought into Lau's office, where somebody inside immediately like grabs you. Once they're inside, someone grabs you, Gabriel, and like starts patting you down for like weapons.
Yeah, they find a pistol.
Yeah,
they
so
find
they
like
take
a
your
really
pistol.
basic, nothing fancy, like something that like a commoner would, like somebody who works in the mines, like might have for self-protection. Something that completes
Some
their
kind of
disguise.
Commoner pistol. Yeah, so they pat you down. They take the weapon, and then this person who grabbed you, like they've grabbed you by the shoulders and pushed you against the wall and like have patted you down, so you haven't seen their face. They turn you around and they like push you down into the seat that's across from Lau's desk. So there's the room basically has this desk, there's another door out, and then behind the desk is this big oil painting. I don't know if you were here for when they were in the office, but it's a big oil painting of a man in like red robes and like a long white beard holding stone tablets. And he's like impressing or frightening a group of people. And you don't have any context for this, neither does he, but you know it's like some kind of ancient religious diagram. And so you get sat down in the chair, and Lau says, What did you come here hoping to
Jesus
do?
Christ.
He's here too. What did you come here hoping to do?
I came here to offer you a chance, Lau.
A chance for what?
A chance to perhaps lead us to someone who is more dangerous than you are. We know that you have some connections. How did you think we knew about to come to Berkman in the first place?
I don't know anything about all that. All I care about is my people. The people of my parish and the people of Berkman. Raising them up.
Lau, you don't honestly expect me to believe that, do you? You are aware that I am technically dead, thanks to the actions here on Berkman.
I don't know anything about that either. But I recognize your face. I was warned that you were here. A dangerous man. Pretending to be a priest. You're an implement of the church, don't get me wrong, but you're no spiritual guidance. You're just a gun. Pointed at me now by the church. I'm surprised it took so long.
Why are you so convinced that I'm here to kill you?
So if you're not
You
here to
seem
kill me, then
awfully-
what?
Like I told you, I'm here to give you a chance, Lau. You obviously have people
Shrugs.
that believe in you. You're a very competent leader, and you care about the people here on Berkman. You know that there is something happening. Now, I'm not a particular fan of that golden abomination that floats in the sky.
He looks at your hand, which is now like visible, right? And he kind of like looks back at you like, uh-huh.
Trust me, it is not exactly what I would have chosen. I'm not exactly happy with how things have been dealt with here. But someone, you perhaps, or someone you're working with, is up to something. You're getting innocent people killed. So now's your chance to confess, to give me who might be involved, to purge your
Innocent.
sins.
Yeah, he says innocent people. No, I don't think so.
You're saying that the
That's not
people
how it
killed in the shuttle bombing that happened only a few days ago, they weren't innocent people. Those dock workers.
He shakes his head. He says anybody who works for that corporation, anybody here on the planet looking to protect imperial interests over the people of Berkman, they're complicit, not innocent. I hate bloodshed. I hate killing. I hate fear and terror. But we use the tools we're given. The Empire's got us backed into a corner like dogs. Your empire, your church. There's
You
no
know who
way
you
out.
remind me of, Lau? There was a woman who spoke a lot like this. What was her name? She was on all the vids. And I'll give him a second to see if he jumps in.
Yeah, I think he gets who you're aiming at, but he's not going to take the bait. Like, he just scowls at you.
You know, I met her once. She was very talkative when I spoke to her. I think I might have been one of the last people she'll ever get to speak to ever again. She had an awful lot to say about the Empire, about the Church, about Berkman. I hope that that's not somebody you look up to. She's very dangerous. And I'll just stare at him, very expressionless.
Yeah. So all of you are seeing this. If you have things that you want to like pass on or like questions that you think Gabriel should ask, well, you're welcome to.
Yeah, please do.
And
'cause I'm
he
eyeballing here.
yeah, this is not his matter of expertise. So if somebody wants to make a talk roll through him, if you want to like Cyrano de Bergerac this dude, you're welcome to. But he says people like Karsten, they have drive. They have fever for freedom. as they put it, but my goal is unity. It's protection. It's allowing the people of Berkman to live as they desire to live. Now, the High Church, they want us to believe all their lies about how the Trillion Ring is going to raise us up. Someday, eventually, we just wait long enough. All that manna from heaven's going to come trickling down the canyon walls. We'll all be rich. I don't think that's how it goes. None of us have seen one pale credit from those people. Rich getting richer, poor stay poor. So it's time to make a change. The mayor's an imperial tool. Church has got to go. We do it our own way on Berkman from here on. You can go back to your church masters. You can tell them that. We're not afraid of you.
Tell me, Lau, you say that you hate violence, that you hate the bloodshed. Yet there's been an awful lot of it coming from Berkman. Now, if it's not your motive, if it's not your area of personal desire, where's it coming from? Who's paying you or keeping you fed on guns like those goons that you had guarding the door? Who's paying for the mercenaries that are protecting you from people like me? If you're not afraid of us.
The community looks after its own. We got enemies. And I said, Crusader, I hate violence and I abhor killing, but a sinner can hate his sins. My soul will be weighed when I reach the hereafter. But for now, I'll do what I have to for my people.
Anything from anyone else?
Yeah, and Nomi and Booker are just sitting there like everybody's like, confess to more stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we have
Yeah,
him
so-
told. I would say try to get him to give up Alders and maybe tell him like the jig is up. Like put the pressure there. Be like say like mention that we're gonna arrest Emerson. That like if he cares so much about people, like you could even probably lie about that. Like, oh, as we speak, or not Tomomi, the other one, the
elder?
Sybil
Miguela?
Alders?
elder. Yeah.
Oh,
Say
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
say that the elder is being arrested as we speak, and that Tomomi Emerson's given us all the information we need, and then like
Okay.
I don't know, let him know he's
Play as
being
a bluff.
recorded.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then if he doesn't give up Alders, like you have
well,
more
if you
than
let him
enough to
know-
bring down the Crux Fist.
If you
Yeah,
let him know
that's
he's being
wise.
recorded, he may not speak anymore. Play
Yeah.
into
Oh,
his emotions,
true.
I feel like.
I'm going to play
Yeah.
into
Play into
it,
his
yeah.
emotions, and then he'll spill more.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
more you agitate him, the more he's going to be bubbling
The more
over
he's gonna
with
talk.
more information.
Yeah. Cool. You know, Lau, I'm surprised. I thought you were a smart man. You've come in here, you've spoken to me. I mean, quite honestly, you say that you have your sins, but frankly, I don't think you have the guts to take the action you need to. As we speak, what do you think the rest of the Crux team are doing? Reverend Miguela is obviously complicit and will soon be arrested. And soon the almighty fist of Crux will come crashing down. What exactly do you think that a few armed peasants, yourself, and these mercenary goons like Alders are really going to be able to achieve here? You say you care about the people, but what you're doing right now is just going to get a lot of people killed.
Those people will be martyrs, every one of them remembered for their sacrifice. And in the end, when all the blood is washed clean, we'll have control of Berkman. Not the Emperor and his empty throne, not God, us. The way the Almighty intended. This planet for the people of Berkman, as it's supposed to be.
You seem exceptionally confident about that. How are the people of Berkman going to maintain control when you and all your little conspirators and people like Alexander Carsten have been killed, arrested, or locked up in a place so dark that not even God's light will reach them.
The way I see it, there's, what, 10, 15 of you in that embassy? How many people on the cathedral? How many trillion directors on this planet? And then how many hundreds, thousands of us are there? Sure, some are going to make that sacrifice. But in the end, even if it takes 100 of us to every one of you, we'll have seized control, taken what's ours.
Unless, of course, it turns out that Crux has discovered, perhaps you have been lying. Or perhaps Reverend Elder Megala has some other agendas, connections to certain trade organizations or enemies of the Empire, and is seeking ways to perhaps leverage them. What if the people of Berkman suddenly realize that your little independent faction isn't really about them, but really about the money on Berkman itself?
So you're bluffing that you're gonna lie to everybody that the whole he's a fake, and that the whole thing was him and Megala trying to seize
I think
Berkman
I
for
am
themselves?
trying to put enough information out there to let him come up with because he seems to be. I'm guessing that somebody like this has to be pretty paranoid about a lot of stuff, and I know that I'm not. Valencio is dead. There's no official Crux investigator here to say anything, so I'm just gonna throw things out there and see what he comes to the conclusion of. See what he loosens his tongue.
Okay, make a talk and charisma roll. But let's have the Amira make a help roll first, because you fed the Crusader this plan. So let's get a help roll, talk and charisma from Kiran, and then we'll jump over and we'll get Gabriel to roll with a +1 if you get a 7 or better on this.
Yep.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, good. You got a 13. You got a 13.
An 8.
Okay. All right. So you got an 8. So yeah, I think he'll give up a little. He'll set you on the path, right? Because you got an 8. It's not like he gives up everything, but he says we are far enough away from places like Echo. The Prism doesn't control the news here. Word travels by mouth, by community, friends, family. This community knows what's right, and they know that I stand for what's right. Whatever lies you try to spread, it doesn't matter. You can tell them about whatever you want, and he says, yeah, you can tell them whatever you want. They won't believe you. They know not to listen to the church's lies. Didn't you hear me out there? It doesn't matter. And yeah, and I think he says, besides these sorts of things, we're not alone in taking care of them. I have friends, allies off-world. You think you know everything? You don't know everything.
Okay. Anybody else got anything they want to send my way? Or I'm going to try and get out of here.
Yeah. The last thing I would maybe try pushing on, is you could always lie and say that it doesn't have to it doesn't have to come to blows. You could hint that there's obviously we're far away from. There's a gigantic ship hovering in the atmosphere of this planet. So to a certain extent, he has to know that we can have our way with him and his people. But you could always lie and say that we're just here for the Karsten contact, and that he can save himself and his people if he just turns himself in.
Right, now it's time to divest yourself of this person who is dangerous. We'll take her off your hands.
Yeah.
And then leave.
Yeah,
Okay,
and lie.
yeah.
Obviously we're not going to, but you could try to convince him that that's all we want. That's the only reason that we're here. That Crux doesn't give a shit, and we just want this one person. Because he already admitted that Karsten's in jail, and say, well, yeah, we're the people responsible for that. Now we're tying up the loose ends. Now let us tie up our loose ends and we'll go. It might be a good place to push. Just put all your cards on the table.
Okay. So I hold my hands up. I'm saying, all right, Lau. I can admire your passion. And you care deeply about the people of Berkman, which actually, you may not believe me, but I do respect. I do, despite my current purchase, if you will. I do not approve of Trilliant. I do not approve of the way that they've handled Berkman. The fact is that we're not even really here for, well, we could take the cast and contact. Whoever it is that you're working with her little gang of terrorists, we could take her and leave you to take control of things here. I could even perhaps, we could speak to certain crux people involved. Certainly, I've got some sway with the High Church.
He's looking at you like he's trying to figure out if he believes you or not. Let's do another roll. Let's see. So the thing here is if you succeed, the idea is that he believes that you're not here to like fuck with Berkman. The Berkman is not even the issue. That really it's the other thing, right? This is basically trying to turn the street level drug dealer against their boss, so you can like go after the real shit,
the bigger fish,
which is a lie.
Yes,
but
it's a lie that he hopefully wants to believe because he cares about Berkman more than
right.
Else.
And in a way, like you're playing on the idea that he has these doubts about his foreign friends anyway, right? If you're like, here's what we're gonna do, we're gonna take them away, and Berkman will just be like, for you, like you can just
you can do what you want. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So same thing. Let's have the Amira roll. Yeah, roll to help.
Is it the same, just talking charisma?
Yeah, exactly the same roll. Yeah. Okay, so you do get the +1. Okay. All right. So you can see there's some emotion on his face, and if Nomi were there, she would know what that emotion is. And you can see him sort of like for a second.
I mean, can't I see through his eyes though?
You can, but it's weird because you can't psychically like
can't connect to his brain,
delve into his mind. Yeah. He just looks like he's thinking. And he says, that's a bold offer. Berkman needs to be free of outside influence before it can grow, become a power on its own, be taken seriously, but I know the scripture. Every stone, every gust of wind, every dog on this planet belongs to the Emperor, to God. You can't change scripture. That's not how it works. And he just needs like a little, you need to justify that issue of faith for him. So you got a 7 and 9, which is qualified. If you can get him past that, like, cool, but church law says like no matter what, you can't break that. I can't make that deal.
I look at him. Lau, you're right. That is the scripture. But do you think the High Church, do you think Crux would send someone like me? And at that point, I will use my personal apportation just to go 10 meters so it doesn't affect my effort to literally appear like right in front of him. Like, move past the goons that are kind of watching over me, literally be on him and, kind of
the
use
goon,
like my
so
physical intimidation.
Yeah, he's standing in front of his desk, so you can't stand in front of him, but you can go next to him, and the guy that has his hand on your shoulder, like keep you sitting, stumbles forward as you pop out of the, and you appear beside him. Then obviously, like, guns get drawn, and like people are surprised, and Lau starts to turn, and then you're right beside him. Do you want to, like, do you grab him?
Yeah, I don't actually grab him. I just kind of, maybe even just like literally hand on his shoulder, like not pressing down, but I appear super close, and then I'll just say, would they send someone like me just to deal with this small matter? There is a terrorist. There is a disease in the Empire that I need to clean. Berkman can be yours. We can give you some time. Solidify what you want. Solidify what you need. But right now, what I care about, what we care about, is this foreign influence, this other person, these contacts that you're working with. They don't send someone like me to deal with someone like you. I could have killed you the second I walked into that church and left before anybody knew what had happened. But I'm here talking to you now.
Right. The fact
Take
that I
that
haven't
and
already
what you
killed
will.
you means I'm not going to. Okay. So he hesitates. You can see him thinking about it. And he turns and he looks at you and he says, he doesn't say anything. I think you feel it in his like body, his posture, right? His like shoulders slump a little, and he's just like, okay, this is how I deal with two birds with one stone. I give up. It's the Lando Calrissian situation, right? Like he gives up his foreign friend, and then the Empire will take them away and they'll leave Berkman and they can go back to mining Tabanagas. So I think he turns and he looks at you, and you notice. Actually, make a notice roll. I want to know how much detail to give you. And actually, everybody, let's have wait first. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
So good. No, it's fine. Everybody can roll to add on to this because you're all watching the scene and you're now close up to this guy. So so he turns and you see Lau through his eyes. So everybody can roll a notice and wisdom to give bonus. Everybody gets a 7. We'll add more to this.
So +1 already from Booker. +2, so 12.
Okay, all right, so you got a 12. So that'll give you a +1 on the next thing I'm going to get you to roll. So here's what happens. So he turns and he looks at you and he takes a breath, and the door, the other door, like that leads somewhere else that no one has seen open yet, it bangs open. You see Sybil Alders with a gun in her hand, and she's coming in, raising the gun, and she's like, "Lau, you piece of shit," and she levels the gun at him, and she's going to shoot him in the face.
So I already had my shoulder on his hand. Can I push him down out the way?
Maybe. Let's roll initiative and we'll see. So
what's initiative again? It's just
a D8 plus your dexterity modifier if you have one. Okay, so you get an additional +1 from your friends helping you notice, kind of like keep on top of the situation. And I think what happens, what gives you this edge, is that you notice in his ear he has like an earpiece. It's not as trill as yours, but like somebody has been listening to this whole conversation and maybe he forgot. And so she busts the door in. She's got this big ass like matte black pistol in her hand. Everybody sees this. She comes in. She's raising the gun. What do you want to do?
Push Talat Lau down out of the
shove him to the floor.
Arc of fire. So yeah, basically like get him out of her range, and then the other arm comes up, the gold plates slide open as a fucking laser fucking rifle comes out, and I'm gonna blast her in the chest.
All right, yeah, do it.
So laser rifle.
Let's see. I don't think she's wearing any armor.
Yeah, so I'll burst fire this as well because it's a rifle. The only thing, Adam, is I don't know if this will add my gunslinger damage, so this might be an extra 2 damage. I'm not sure if it does hit.
Okay, we'll take a look at it if you hit.
Yeah.
Fuck. You definitely hit her.
I'm just looking at the damage. 1d10. So no, I don't think it does. So I think that's 12.
She has 4 hit points. So she busts in and she's like, "Lau, you traitor!" and like goes to shoot him, and you just 3 quick blasts from the laser rifle. They just rip right through her like she was made out of tissue paper. She stumbles back and hits the wall and slides down, leaving a bloody smear. Lau is on the floor. His goons aren't really sure what to do because like she was gonna kill him and you just saved him, but like up until a second ago they were ready to kill you. Everybody else sees this happen. What do you do?
I'll just literally turn on Lau, keep my gun arm out, but like literally like kind of, you know, still hand on his shoulder or whatever, or like lean down to him.
So your gun arm is smoking.
I'm not pointing at him.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to be, but it's smoking because that's way more trill than a laser rifle not smoking after you fire it. So there's like vapor coming off the end of it, and it's glowing with like a gold light, and it's making making like a recharging noise. It's like like making a charging up sound.
I'll just like lean down into Lau's face and just be like, I just saved your fucking life, Lau. Tell me apart from Sybil, who else were you working with? I want names, I want information now.
Nomi, Sybil Alders is not dead. She's like unconscious and she's been shot through the chest, but like you can tell the shots they were not lethal. They were all like center mass enough. There wasn't a headshot. She's going to be dead soon, but she isn't yet. Doesn't mean that she's a threat. I just wanted to let you know, because if you wanted to stop her from dying, that might be possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a last patch on me as well.
I mean, I guess like we have to try and get in there.
Yeah.
I
At this
guess.
point,
I don't
yeah.
know. Like that's only. I just don't know how many people are between us and him. So
A
we
church
can
full.
try.
They're all singing and clapping.
Wait, they're still
Hallelujah.
there?
I can.
Yeah.
But
you
the
guys tell
sermon
me that you're
ended. Why are
coming
they
in.
just hanging out?
Because it's
Yeah.
church.
Sing
Now
the
is the
song.
the singing part, and like this is
At
their
this point-
their like community time. So yeah, no, they're definitely all like hanging out.
If you guys tell me that you're coming, I can probably try and get Lau to like
You
basically
can probably
let
leverage
you
that.
in.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll like turn on his goons. If you tell me that he's coming, I can basically just push him, and then go and stabilize Sybil.
Okay, yeah, like he's just like on the ground with his hands over his head, like he's
think
just like, I don't want to die. He's not a combatant.
I
Booker
just
might
turned
even
to
chime
I'm
in
like,
over.
yeah, go on.
Booker might chime in over comms and say to Nomi, like,
Nomi, if we want to capture Sybil alive, this is the time. He might be able to leverage now the fact that he saved his life. Just putting it out there. Your call.
Gabriel, do you need our assistance, or can you still handle this situation by yourself?
I can try, but obviously it may become difficult by myself. But I'm not a trained medic, but I have a Lazarus patch. I'll just like shout over at Lau. I'll just be like, for God's sakes, Lau, put your hands down, but don't fucking go anywhere. And then I'll stride over to Sybil's body, tear the Laz patch out of my body, and just try and fucking get it on her basically as best as I
Okay.
can.
All right, so you
I
can
have to
make
make a check
a
for him?
roll. Yep.
Okay.
The difficulty is with a last pet. I think it's like 6 plus the number of rounds since you went down, which is like 1. So
Fuck.
let me take.
I thought it was just a slap on and they're done.
Yeah, that's not so much the case. You just shot her in the chest with the laser rifle.
Yeah, I
You,
guess so.
vaporized some of her organs.
Oh, yeah, difficulty
Just gonna
6.
need-
What's the number of rounds?
Yeah. So it's
Can I
so it's
can I
gonna be
like
difficulty 7.
can I ask Nomi like over comms, like, guide me through this, Sirius? What do I need to do?
Yeah,
Can
where do
get
I
her to,
put
like,
it?
give me a help check? Yeah, like
Yeah.
literally, like
Yeah.
like can I?
Totally. That's 100% possible. So Nomi, you're playing the like 911 the operator, like find the wound and apply pressure. So you can roll to help. It's a heal check. Heal with intelligence. And then the Crusader can make a heal with dexterity or intelligence. Nice. Nomi, if you were there, she'd
get
be
a
alive
+1.
by now. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, like, my rolls have been super good all night. This, of course, is the one where it's gonna fucking fail.
Of course. So if you let me take a look. So if you fail on this roll, let's see, a failed check can be reattempted the next round, but Lazarus patches are expended on even a failure. Did you only have the 1?
I only had the 1.
Okay. All right. I mean, no medical tools at all. It'll be difficulty 12. You get one more
I do
shot.
have a
of
medical
just, like,
kit. I have a medical kit as well. In my gear.
Okay.
So I have a med pack. We got it off one of the shuttles a while ago.
So the Laz patch, you tear the paper off of it and you slap it on her, and it's an Acre brand Laz patch. It's a little like rhombus shaped thing. It says like diagnosing, dead, sorry, sad face, and then it turns off.
Fucking tethered Laz patch out for whatever and be like, fuck this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I keep trying.
So you can try the medical kit, or as was pointed out, the Amira, you still have 2 uses of secret Trilliant gear if you would like to have him have another, like, a backup Lazarus patch.
Oh, can we like retcon that?
Yeah, I mean, again, with this stuff, it's like a freebie retcon, so you can just be like, "Cool, yours didn't work. Try the trillion one I gave you beforehand, just in case."
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and use like that second one then.
Okay, so you got one more use of trill gear.
So true.
Cool. Do I still have
Can I roll again, or
Nomi's +1? Yeah, or does she need to
Yeah,
re-roll?
Nomi, if you'd like to.
Does this patch play like a wicked awesome song while it does its thing?
Right, air horns probably when you apply it.
Fuck.
Okay, so you get the +1. So the difficulty this time is 1 higher. So it's 8.
Is it because do I get an extra +1 because it's a super cool trill patch? King of
I don't think there's like a TL5 version, like a special version of it. So no.
Whips it out.
Okay.
Hey, it's got undercarriage lights.
I got a 9. I think that's okay.
Yeah, so you put it on, and it's much smaller than the acre one. This one's just like a little like $50 size one, and you put it on her neck, and yeah, it just like there's a little LED spiral of gold that like goes around, and then the thing pulses with her heartbeat, and so she's stabilized, and she's lying on the ground, and it's like fixing her blood, and like it's not gonna make her better. She got shot in the chest, but she will not die unless she's critically injured. She's gonna get 1 hit point, and then you need to get her to like a hospital.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Booker and Nomi, what do you want to do? Because now it's an extraction, and the only way in or out that you know is through the church itself.
Yeah, I guess that would be.
I think we just try and go in.
Yeah. The only thing I was going to say is Booker is like ask Crusader Gabriel whether or not to find out if there's a back entrance. So you hear like,
Gabriel, you might want to find out if there's a back entrance so we don't have to deal with all the churchgoers in the front.
Affirmative, agent. Lau. Look at me, Lau.
And he looks up, like he's ducked behind his desk, and he looks at you. And he's got this mix of like confusion and fear and like anger that he doesn't have control of the situation on his face. And he's like startled that up till just a second ago, he thought that Sybil Alders was his friend, but also he was going to betray her. So he's got a lot of emotional content going on right now. And he looks up at you, and he just gives you a face like, "What?
Is there a back entrance here? I don't want to take a body through the church."
Do I tell him about my secret back entrance? Make a talk roll. Talking charisma.
Can I get? I saved his life. God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, take a +1. He's all fucked up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a 10. All right. So he nods, and he points at the door she came in, and he says, "Maintenance tunnel, air recyclers. There's some shutdown fans. We use it to." And he looks at the body. He hasn't noticed that you brought back to life. He says, "We get assets in and out."
Is she the only one, or do you have other contacts?
I don't know about. I mean, she was the one that brought the money and the plans off-world, but I mean, if she has other agents, I don't know about them.
Good. I'm watching you, Talat Lau. Don't disappoint the people of Berkman again. And then I'll just start dragging her body away back through the entrance.
Pick her up bodyguard style.
Yeah.
Okay, so while the Crusader is doing that, Booker and Nomi and also like Arnahan and Doyle and company, are all of you going in?
We should meet him.
I'll let Graves know.
Yeah.
well, that was the
You
idea
heard
was to
that.
Figure out where that. Yeah. So we know
that's
where
true. You guys would have
it
heard that.
go,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So we'd be rendezvousing where that lets out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, I guess he could tell you. Like he gives you. He says, there's a surface. There's an elevator leads up to a surface facility. It's abandoned. It looks that way from the outside. We use it to land ships sometimes. And he can't give you exact coordinates, but it's like up on the surface. So Nomi and Booker, if you want to get there, you need a vehicle to get there.
I open up my bag. There's a vehicle inside.
Thrill cycle.
So I mean, honestly, like a vehicle is it's completely acceptable. If you want to spend your last point, you could show up like in a you could just be like and fly in and be like, yo, what up?
Sick
The
gold
Amira's here.
motorcycle. Yeah.
I mean,
Sweet.
like there are hover cycles, but it's not gonna be I mean, unless you have like 2 sidecars. Like gun
I
pods.
do this. And I'm instead of wearing my typical ambassador gear, I am wearing like just in case shit gets hairy, I am wearing my actual armor because I have some.
Okay. So
Wearing my
Booker and
woven body
Nomi,
armor.
you stand up. You're like, we gotta let's go. We gotta figure out a way to do this. And then this like matte black trail vehicle like floats in, and the door, the gull wings open, and there's like a faint golden glow on the inside, and in the pilot seat, you see the Amira.
And a matte black jumpsuit with gold visor sunglasses.
Yeah. And
I'm
on the
Trill now.
visor, on the visor, the word Trill is just rotating past your
Yeah.
eyes.
It's my HUD. I need it to drive at night. I'm sorry.
Booker like cocks an eyebrow. Amira,
Hop in.
you look different.
Some would say trill, but I believe we need to get a move on.
Yes, let's go.
Okay. So you you jump in, and the door closes behind you, and you kick it into gear and fly up out of the canyon. So Gabriel, you are currently carrying this body in your arms. And you are walking through there's a back hallway with some other rooms, but at the end of the hall is a kind of rusted like metal door that when you open it leads to a big kind of empty like a tunnel. And as promised, you see a big metal fan that would normally be spinning and pushing air through the tunnel, but it's broken. One of the blades is broken off and it's just stopped, and you can just slip under it.
Yep. Slip on under.
Yeah.
Make my way as instructed.
Okay. All right. So you start making your way out there. So we cut to the exterior shot of Berkman. It's desolate. It's covered in rocks and cacti. We can see in the distance, kind of hazy, some of the towers, the atmospheric towers they have, and there is a little, like almost like just like a hexagonal shaped metal hut with a big clear flat area in front of it. And we cut down to that, and the floor of it slides open, and Gabriel and Sybil's unconscious body rise up out of the hole in the floor on an elevator, and you can hear the sound of a hover vehicle approaching.
Like scan around, probably like slump her body down, but then just kind of like duck down, get into a slightly defensive position just in case it's not the team. But I guess they'd let me know it's them.
Yeah, I'd tell you. I'd be like, coming in hot.
Okay, so I'll just keep a cover look, and then as soon as they pull up, like pick her up, drag the body or drag Sybil in, and then hop in.
Okay, yeah. So the Crusader gets into the vehicle, holding this body. He's got blood all over the front of him. She's stable, at least for now. And then where do you go, Amira?
I'd probably like pop up the visor and like turn to whoever's in the passenger seat and just say, is there any medical facilities on planet? Where are we supposed to take this person?
The best medical facilities on the planet are in low Earth.
If I don't know, Booker could be in the passenger seat, like already looking up, like Crux approved, medical facilities. If there isn't one already attached to like the embassy nearby, that's what he'd be doing, is to look.
Yeah, the embassy would have like first aid, but it's all kind of like automated. The other big Crux like thing on this planet, which is like kind of like, it's not run down, but it's the Imperial Rectory Plaza. That's where all of like the local law enforcement stuff takes place. It's cool. It's pretty trail, but it's not really a hospital.
Can this vehicle that we're in go to the Prudence?
No, you cannot leave orbit in this hover car. I mean, technically, you could like aim it up and just fly it as hard as you could, but eventually the security or the safety protocols will kick in and be like, you cannot leave orbit with this vehicle. Please return. And it'll just like,
it's fine. I got this.
Here we go, just like a dart.
Yeah, turn off all the safety protocols and just launch yourself into
Birds,
space.
we're coming in real hot.
Yeah, no, so you can't leave orbit with this thing.
Then I guess
it doesn't have the juice for it.
A little bit run down, whatever. But if it's crooks, we know we're going to be okay and be able to establish a perimeter and stuff, and not have to be not be shot at and questioned too hardly. Then
Yeah,
that's
it's like
where
the
Booker
police
suggests.
dispatch. Yeah. Okay. So you want to head there? I mean, you could also, and this occurs to you, Gabriel. You could get to the cathedral as well, and they'll definitely fix her.
I'll put it out there.
So while you're talking about this, Nomi, can you make a notice roll for me?
Okay.
Yeah, notice and okay. So you're glancing at the body because you have medical training and it's a body, and you take a look at her. She does look stable. But you notice there's a faint subdermal, like she's got a little bulge under and behind her ear, like her head is turned sideways, and under her skin there's a red light that's like bink, 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 that's just like blinking.
She has a tracker.
Excellent.
Or a bomb.
Chasing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she blows up and I kill everybody and Gabriel's dead again.
Suicide Squad style.
I mean, I don't know. Do we have some kind of scanner or something?
You could make a medicine. Like this was to notice if you saw it.
Okay.
Now you can try to figure out what the fuck it is.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so medicine and intelligence, or a heal and intelligence.
Heal.
Yeah.
12.
Oh damn. Yeah, it's 100% a tracking device.
Okay, cool. So I pointed out to the rest of everyone. It appears that our Miss Alders has a tracking device implanted under her skin.
So when you say that, when you say that, before anybody has a chance to react, I'll give you a chance to talk after this. But when you say that, the shot cuts to an external shot. And right now, Amira, are you just sitting in one place, or are you traveling? Like, are you just driving somewhere?
I'm driving somewhere. Yeah, but
okay. All right. So we see you hovering. You're like ripping across the desert landscape. There's dust blowing out, and you have this wake behind you. And the shot pulls out, and we see a group of 3 hover vehicles, 3 bikes. People driving them. Yeah, people drive. There's six people. There's 3 people driving, one on each bike, and then they have passengers on the back. And the passengers have weapons. They have like rifles, and we see them like come in behind you and start ripping up towards you.
Can I cut it out?
Amazing.
Or will that?
I reach into
yeah,
my
I mean they've seen the vehicle, but
they know the vehicle. But in either case, yeah,
we could lose them.
Booker was gonna just like whip out a knife and be like, "Ah, shit!" Like just start cutting it out.
No,
now keep in mind, if she takes even 1 hit point of damage, she will die.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
2.2 damage of hit point damage here because it's a tiny knife.
I would make someone. Yeah, someone would make a roll. It would be heal plus dexterity in the back of like a jostling hover vehicle with it's got really good suspension, but there'd still be a bit of a penalty. True. If you succeeded, you could cut it out. But if you fail, she'll die.
Blame myself. Booker should have known that there was a tracking device. God damn it.
Do we need to deal with the tracker now? We have people pursuing us already. Perhaps we should deal with these pursuers and then worry about the tracker.
Or we could worry about the tracker. Yeah. I was going to say, or we could
tracking us because of that. So
we can't lose them if we have a tracker.
True.
Do we see do we hear or see the bikes behind us, Adam?
Yeah, like if you look at there's no rear view obviously, but there's a big touch screen panel in between the seats, and when you look at it, it shows out behind. You see the dust path, and then 3 dark shapes like coming up behind you.
Are they not in weapons range yet?
Not yet. You have an opportunity to do something before they get within range.
Can I give her a dose of lift and then cut it out?
Yes. Yeah. Totally. Because then
you
can
hurt her. Do we have any restraints?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, because she'll wake up. That's true.
Reeve always has,
He's a cop.
Restraints.
Yeah,
constraints. Yeah.
I forgot the word for cuffs.
He's got the.
I was about to say
Jeez.
manacles, and I was like, that's not the right word. Greaves wouldn't have manacles.
He's not an ancient dungeon keeper. Like, oh, there you go. No, but Booker Greaves, he's a space cop. Of course you have. It wouldn't make any sense for you not to have handcuffs.
Come on. So yeah,
do it.
Okay.
I
Until
mean,
you.
What does the lift
info.
do for her?
It
How
will
much
give
it
her
gives
hit
her extra
points.
HP? Okay, how much?
Yeah, it'll give her
HP. does it give
HP.
her?
I think it's a D6. Mark, you've taken lift
Oh,
before.
okay, so
How
you
much-
roll it. Okay.
You're a
you
lift
lift
addict,
junkie.
aren't you, Mark?
Yeah, you're hooked on that lift.
I have the page open, so let me find it.
It will also
Lift
make things less dire in terms of taking her to a hospital.
So it's 1d8 plus the user's heal skill and hit points after 5 minutes of rest, apparently.
Yeah.
That's what it says in the book.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll take 5 minutes for her to be stable enough for you to cut into her without any risk. So you'll just have to like keep these guys off your ass for 5 minutes.
Oh, easy.
Okay, so are you pulling out lift to like would you be pulling that out to administer to her, Nomi? Because otherwise Brooke Reeves wouldn't know. He's like looking
Okay,
back.
so after I noticed the tracking device, and I pointed out to you guys, and then I like start kind of like, I guess I don't know if I have like a bag or something. I just like kind of like start feeling around it. I say, Booker, do you have any restraints for her?
Yes. Where's your head at?
We need to handcuff her so that I'm going to give her a dose of lift. She'll wake up, but we need to get that tracking device out of her. She's too weak right now, but if I give her this lift and we keep these guys off of us for a second, we should be able to cut it out and then lose them.
All right,
Can
that
try
should
and
work.
give us covering fire.
Here's the restraints. I can also call in to the Prudence or anyone else. I think we should get some backup to take them out if possible. Let them know we have a priority 1 asset.
I love the idea of you calling the Prudence to me like, guys, we're being chased by 3 motorcycles. We're on the surface. Could you just use your ship-mounted lasers to blast them? And they're like, we could try, I guess.
Not necessarily that. We're just saying, okay, we're in the future. We have
It's
if
true.
we let them know we have a priority 1 asset, we need backup to get that tail off of. We're in for lack of a better term, a civilian vehicle that doesn't have any weapons on it that we know of, unless the Trill ship does. In which case,
No, it doesn't. No, it's just a very fast, very flashy vehicle.
What
And that is
about
exactly what
our
Booker does.
officers? We have backup too, right? Like we have Arnahan and Doyle.
Yeah, do they
But
not
there
have
can
like a
be-
vehicle?
There's a difference between hanging outside of a Trill vehicle, like shooting outside
So-
windows.
I
at
will
moving
say this.
vehicles.
You know this about the Prudence. The Prudence has the drop pods which you use to get down here, but it also has 2 fighter class ships in its regiment,
Yeah,
right?
basically,
so
Booker's
you
not
could-
fucking around. He's just like, let's
Did have
scramble these
3.
fucking fighter jets and let's kill these motherfuckers.
you could call up and be like, yo, we need the fighters. It would take a hot minute for them to like run down there, jump in, prep it, and come down. But in the moment, I need some rolls from the Amira. So Kieran, they are closing on you. You can like jam on the gas and try to like outpace them. You could take emergency maneuvers. What do you want to do? Because you're driving this ship. It's time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna very gradually reduce speed, or like kind of like allow them to catch up with me rather, and then I'm going to very quickly throw the ship into reverse and do one of those where you do like a 180 and then like
Oh yeah, you
and
like
just
put on
zip
the
in the other
e-brake and
direction.
like slide backwards so they
Space
go
drift.
past
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Mhm,
Can I
and then
take some
try to
pot
like
shots while Ymira does that?
I mean, okay, help me understand. So you want to like open the window and lean out while she takes like a hard turn. The chances of you getting thrown out the window are like relatively
okay.
high, but you
Yeah,
could
fine.
risk it.
No, I
Seatbelts,
won't.
Adam. Seatbelts.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Tell me
I
the
want
Trill
a
vehicle doesn't
seatbelt.
have seatbelts.
It's not safety's not very trill. No, it does, but you can't also wear a seatbelt and lean out. Okay,
Prove you
so
wrong.
Yeah, come on, Adam. Fast and the Furious style.
Expect a video of me
mean-
tomorrow in my car drifting while seatbelted with a fake gun outside.
Remember the last time that you acted like you were in an action movie, Mark. So
Yeah.
okay,
The
so
best.
you want to kick in the hard
mean,
brake,
wait,
spin the
though.
thing around, let them go past you.
Mark, if you fly out, you
reasonable.
could just teleport back into the car.
You'll be way out of my
It
range.
doesn't
so
even
quickly.
matter. You can just teleport back in.
But your range is
Come
100
on.
meters. We're not
That's
going
a lot.
over 100 meters a second.
I guess so.
How much? Well, how much is a round? Right, a round is 6 seconds, I think.
It's the D&D one. Yeah, I'm guessing it's the same.
I think it's about the same.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How
like if
fast
you're
is it?
going, I mean, yeah, it depends on how fast you're going. Right?
You have a little over a football field's length to teleport, and we're moving probably at a pretty high velocity. Although if we're doing this turn, it changes things a little bit. But.
Anyway, the worry, this is all moot. Like you don't have to like fly out the window. But yes, if the Amira and the Crusader here are able to say, slow down, when we stop, I'm going to shoot at them as they come towards us, then you gun it past them as they fly by, then you could certainly try and do that.
Okay.
There are roles that would be involved. But yeah.
Hey, Amira.
I say let's try it. Yeah. Let's
That's
try it.
plan. Booker's gonna
I
be
popped my
shooting
visor
stuff
back
across the
down.
field.
Let's do this.
Yeah, me and both leaning out. Booker with his space pistol, me with my gold arm.
No. I got a laser rifle. We upgraded since last
You've got
time.
a rifle now as well. Yeah.
So as myself and Gabriel hatch this plan, I'll just say kind of coolly as I flip my visor down, I would recommend everyone put their seatbelts on for this. And then let's do it. Let's pop it in and pop this bitch in reverse. Do a donut.
Also, if no one's stopping me, Booker is pinging the Prudence, letting them know the situation and that we have priority 1 asset. Scramble a fighter down here to we're gonna try to deal with him ourselves. Blah blah blah.
Okay. All right.
This
So
is
let's talk about this like J turn like maneuver that you're doing. So I'll go from left to right. We're gonna need the map on this one. So this is here. I'll use Trilliant Gold to just drive you guys. Okay. So this is you, right? And then you got the bad guys coming at you back here. This is phase 1. This is where we currently are at. So that's there. So this is you. So in phase 2, the plan is going to be to turn the car sideways, right, as they're coming towards you, during which the Crusader is firing out the window at them. And Booker, right? Okay. So that's phase 2. And then phase 3, the intention is that you're now going this direction. You've looped all the way around, and they've gone past you and have not had the opportunity to turn around yet because they've been shot at, and so they're trying to like hook back around. Is that accurate? Do I have a good handle on what you want to do here?
The way I'm gonna slam on the brake, the turn's gonna happen because the back end's gonna fly out wide, and I doubt they would be expecting us to just stop like that. So, I would assume that they would there'd be some momentum there. They'd keep moving for a second.
Football play right now.
Yeah, right. Okay, so while that's happening, basically the rolls we're gonna need is during this roll, I'll get the pilot check from the Amira, and Gabriel and Booker will like gull wing the door on this side, pop that open, and just start shooting at them as they come flying towards you. Slam the door shut, and then yank on the gas. So we'll get the pilot check, two shoot checks from there, and then we'll have it from there. So while all of this is going on, Nomi, what are you doing? That face.
Well, I mean, so after she's handcuffed, then I would use the lift.
Okay. Yeah. You do want to apply the lift? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So she won't wake up for 5 minutes. You're just kind of holding her in place and not letting her bounce around. Okay.
Strain her mouth, or is she able
What do
to
I
speak
roll?
freely when she wakes up?
You don't have to roll anything to apply the lift. It'll just happen in a.
It's a DA plus your heal rank.
Yeah, if you want to do the hit
amount
points.
it goes.
What do you mean D8 plus my heal
Whatever
rank?
your normal heal bonus.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Because
your
the better
heal
you
bonus,
are, the better you are at healing, the more health it gets.
More hit points.
Yeah, so if you have 0, you get 0 bonus. If you have 1,
Oh, okay. So it's just
in your
plus
skills.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. So should I roll that now or when she wakes up?
You can roll it now because she'll wake up. She'll get the hit points and she'll wake up in 5 minutes.
1d8 plus 1.
Yeah. Okay.
I
all right. So
suck
she'll.
at any HP rolls.
She only
are
has
so
4.
bad.
She only has 4. She only has 4 hit points. So,
Yeah.
you got her. She'll be okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. Let's get pilot checks from you. Go ahead and make a pilot check to pull off this maneuver. Dexterity.
Dexterity. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that different from just nice?
I mean,
how's
I'm
that
a
different from
pilot.
just using healer?
She wouldn't get hit
Something.
points. Yeah, you can't
I don't know what
give people
healing
hit
does.
points just by healing. What does your healer focus do? Let me see, because you took that.
It
as
just
a
says
thing.
level 1, gain heal as a bonus skill. Attempt to stabilize one mortally wounded adjacent person per round as an on-turn action. When rolling heal skill checks, roll
Yeah. So
3d6
she's
on
already
both sides. Okay.
you already have the ability. She's already stable.
Okay.
And normally if you're doing heal checks, you do it better.
Yeah.
But she's fine. She'll get
Okay.
you applied it and she'll get the hit points in just a second.
The second level of the healer foci, like you get like bonus hit points when you use like meds or like you can use basic
okay.
kits and stuff.
Okay. Got it.
All right, so
It
you
looks
have pulled
super good.
off your part of the Emira maneuver expertly, right?
Emira maneuver.
You jam the
That's how
engines.
they're gonna teach it in school now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You jam the engines, and the car, the forward momentum turns off. The car drifts on the layer of like hover energy underneath it, and you slide sideways. Everybody gets pulled to one side of the car. The door pops open. Gabriel and Booker, you see these 3 motorcycles barreling straight at you, and you can both make an attack.
It's our
Attack
time,
rolls.
Gabriel.
It
Here's
is.
the thing.
Burst fire, yes.
That's a smart move. Yep.
Yeah.
And are you
wanna
firing
go
at the
for-
guys? Are you firing at the guys, or are you firing at the vehicles?
What do you think, Max?
What type of vehicles are these? Are these the vehicles that would
They're
you know,
bikes. They're like motorcycles. Yeah.
shoot the vehicles and they malfunction, they go down regardless, and those guys are boned. If you shoot the guys and barely touch them, it's kind of a crapshoot either way. Both of them have X amount of
Yeah.
Nice.
Like your weapons are normally not great. Like these aren't like ships or whatever, but they do have armor, so it'll reduce the amount of damage you deal them. If you shoot the guys, they're going to be harder to hit, but they won't. They're not made out of they're not made out of metal.
Yeah, it's gonna be a harder shot. I would say the guys.
All right, let's do it.
Because I feel like the bikes will be able to take more of a punishment than the guys will be able to. Harder shot, but whatever.
Okay. And
Should
which
Just click laser rifle. Do I
guys?
have to do anything for it to shoot burst wise or?
It
There
should
should
come
be
up
a-
when you
it'll-
click
there'll
on
be
the
a-
weapon. Yeah.
There'll be a prompt.
Oh,
Yeah.
prompt.
And who are you shooting at?
Burst, yeah.
It makes sense to shoot the riders or the guys with guns.
Well, no, like which? Yeah, I mean, you can't
Oh.
really like the guys with the guns
There's
are
3.
they're
Okay.
like concealed behind
they
the
like mix
drivers.
them.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I'll
I guess
take
the
one.
pilots, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but which
And then I guess
one
just-
are you both shooting at the same target, or are you going to try to risk hitting 2?
I mean, if you're going,
Worth going for 2, right?
for 2, yeah. If you're gonna
Each
do
of you
it,
are going to shoot at what
might
different
as well try
target?
to be a little more efficient
Yeah.
with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready? You want to go first, Mark?
Oh, Jesus,
That's an
nice.
extra 2 damage. That's 13 damage, by the way.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a hit for sure.
That's not intimidating at all.
Sorry.
So
I'm not-
arm
I'm-
cannon
yeah,
just
I'm not trying to compete.
There's no. Is there a modifier for my shoot roll? Right? I just put 2 in from shoot, or
Yeah. I mean, you should just be able to roll based on the weapon.
oh, I know.
It should just
I'm
add
saying
it
I click the
automatically.
weapon, but I add 2 for the bonus, right? From shoot.
Oh,
Am I wrong in that?
no, that should be added in already.
Should be
Cool.
edited in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for modifier, I put 0.
Yes, that's right, because there's no situational modifier. The Amira got an awesome roll.
Yeah, you rolled a
Okay.
5.
So yeah, you miss Booker. The guy swerves out of the way, but the chaplain hits the guy that he was aiming at. And he like falls over sideways and like falls off the bike. The guy behind him is gonna try to jump on like push him off and jump on the bike. But one of them, so when the Amira yanks the car around, one of them like falls way behind because he ends up like continuing forward while he tries to seize control of the vehicle. I'm gonna make a pilot check for that guy, and let's see. He gets an 8. Okay, so he doesn't crash, but he's still like he's way behind. So these two, continue their pursuit. So, Amira, you have finished the curve. The G forces abate, and then everybody gets shoved back into their seats as she jams into back into high gear and tears off. So now, Amira, do you want to try to like outrun them, or like looking right in front of you? Your very trill visor is giving you like how fast you're going, how much fuel you have. You're good on fuel. You're going super fast. You know you haven't kicked it into like turbo mode yet, but you could. And it's showing you like features. It's highlighted features of the landscape. It's pretty flat out here. There is a small canyon off to one side, and then next to it there are a bunch of industrial pylons that are sticking up with some kind of like machinery on the top of them absorbing moisture from the atmosphere.
Okay, let's head for the pylons. I'm gonna try to make some tight curves and see if I can
weave
get them to crash.
into the industrial machinery. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See if I can get them to crash or buy us some time or get us some cover so we can kill the rest of them.
Okay, sure. So let's see if you can. Let's do an opposed pilot check. They're gonna try. If they succeed, they get close enough to take a shot. If you succeed, they don't.
Okay.
And then that'll be before you get into the vehicle area. Okay, I got a 9.
Okay.
Boom. Nice. Okay. So there's laser fire behind you, but it doesn't. They just can't. They can't get you. You're too far away, and they're hitting the ground. And as you put your foot down, and as the throttle goes up, your goggles, you can see the little like. It's not RPMs because it's an electric engine, but you see it doesn't work that way. But you see the thing go into the red and kind of hang there, and you get a little alert that's like basically like we see you're trying to give her. You want to give her a little harder, and it brings up the option for you to go into extreme transit mode.
Yeah, this is a trill craft. It can handle it. Go.
Okay. All right.
Safety
so there's
a button.
A button appears on the screen, and you punch it, and we see from the outside the back opens up. So we see a panel like open, and there's this like big like repurposed fighter engine in the back, and then suddenly everybody is just like plastered into their seats as the car tears off towards these pylons, these big pylons. So meanwhile, inside, Booker. Are you gonna call the boss? Are you calling upstairs?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we need fighters down here.
Yeah, I mean, I would have done that before this if it made sense. Like in the.
I don't think you had a chance. You were getting your gun out and you were getting ready to participate in the Kiran curve. So,
in my mind,
yeah. So now you have an opportunity.
There's no reason not to. It's just extra insurance in case things go really, really bad. So yeah, you pop on comms real quick. Be like,
okay.
Grieve to Prudence, we need, we need backup. I'm not stumbling over this. I'm actually really, really good.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
No, we've got a priority 1 asset. Scrambled TIE fighters. That thing.
Okay. So let's take a look here. Let's see. I think most fighter ships are Atmo compatible. Let's take a look. Strike fighters. Ooh, amphibious. That's cool. Yeah, I think these guys have Atmo config.
Ooh, amphibious. Stay focused, Adam.
Yeah, no, I think these ones can. I think that's fine. I think we can say these are fitting because you do a lot of planetary justice. So, yeah. So on the other side, let's make a connect roll. Let's see. Go ahead and make one.
And if I don't, we're gonna be like, nah, fuck you, peace.
No, if you I'll let you know what happens if you fail. But go ahead and make a connect roll with charisma.
What will happen? Connect with charisma. Okay. That should succeed.
Okay. All right. So you get on the horn with with ops, and they're like, I'm sorry, Officer Greaves. You don't have judicial ability to deploy the fighters. Can we get your commanding officer on the line?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Nomi!
So Nomi, you get a call, like a ping on your comms that's like, Booker Graves would like to add you to a call.
Mhm. So I just hit this.
Yeah, and-
hit the thing.
Over all these conversations, there's the like the roar of the engine and like the ship fucking rattling as you rip across the desert. So you connect to the call.
Patch you into the call, yeah.
Yeah. So I heard him like saying that, and then I just hit the thing and I say, "For God's sake, deploy the fighters."
And on the other end, you hear we see in ops. There's a bunch of like ops officers sitting around doing work, and this one guy on his headset. We see like a voice print go and like appear, and then it turns green, and he says, "All right, Cirrus, it looks like we've got authorization. I'll just pass this up the chain, and we'll have those fighters down to you as soon as possible."
I swear to God, if you don't properly do this, I personally will come up there and beat your head into the desk.
Thank you for your feedback, Officer Greaves. And then you get hung up on. So up on the ship, we cut to the like mess hall, and we see the Aquila that was arm wrestling with anybody she could get her hands on, and an alarm light goes whoop whoop whoop, and she looks up and she's just like, yes, and she jumps up and like shoves the person she's talking to out of the way and just fucking runs for the hangar.
Hell yeah, she's motivated.
Yeah. So we see Cecilia and some of the other ones like running for it. I mean, listen, they had sex a couple of times. It doesn't make them boyfriend and girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
But there was more than one hookup. There was consistent hookup and talk of breakfast. I mean, that's pretty.
Listen, don't take this. I'm sure Cecilia's great, but I'm telling you what I have on my little info sheet here. It says Cecilia equals pilot girl Booker banged. So that's
times two.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jason would have treated her right.
So we follow her. She like runs. Well, no. So this is the thing. She runs out. We see her run up to the shuttles. There's two fighters, her and one other person, and she's like zipping up her fucking flight suit. And she throws her helmet on, and it's got the big like House Crux sigil on one side. And she climbs up the little ladder, jumps in. Somebody pulls the ladder aside. The fighter is coming to life. She sits down and she reaches into her pocket and she pulls out a picture of Jason Argus, and it's like an old like ship Christmas party photo at some kind of like a ship's event, and she tucks it into the dash, and she looks at it and she shakes her head and she's like, "Miss you, buddy," and she jams the ship in, and they lift off the deck and fire out into the atmosphere. So meanwhile, downstairs, Nomi, your prisoner, she's starting to wake up. So she's like groggily, like, what's good? And she like starts pulling on the handcuffs, and she's like, she remembers being shot, and it's all coming back, and she sees these like Imperial pig dogs. What are you gonna do, Nomi? Stick a knife in her neck, I guess is the.
Yeah, I mean, if she's like healthy enough. No, I forgot about that. Yeah. I have that curved knife that I took from Strand. So, I'll yell over to...
this. She gets shot, passes out, wakes up in a car, hurling across the salt flats, and then gets stabbed in the neck. Like, come here! Like, I'm gonna get that cybernetics out of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
amazing.
Is Booker like doing other stuff right now?
I don't know, Booker. What are you doing?
Now, if we're zooming away, no, we're not. The door's not still open, right? We were taking some shots at him, and then we kept.
So as she like kind of starts to wake up.
Yeah, I assume you would have shut the door. Otherwise, it would have ripped off when you went into turbo mode.
We wouldn't have done it.
I think unless they're close enough to be shooting at us, we're not shooting back, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So then as she like starts to wake up, and I yell over to Booker, like, Booker, need you to hold her down for me, please.
I got you. Booker's like, jumps back there.
I pull out this like curved knife, and I'm just like,
okay. She sees it, and she starts like, she starts screaming. Yeah. She's like, "What are you doing? Get the fuck off of me!"
Booker grabs some
Booker, you want
a little pack.
So Booker, you want to wrestle her to the ground and then tape her mouth shut?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Sold. Okay, I just wanted to be clear. All right, so she's gonna try to like.
I don't give a shit.
She's gonna try to wrestle. She's gonna try to wrestle free. You can make a punch roll with Dex or Strength, whichever you prefer. So this is Booker and her wrestling. She's got a penalty of 2 because she's handcuffed. So she gets a 4. No problem. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So she like wrestles, but you've got handcuffs on her. You just turn her over on her face and like shove her against the floor. And then you just like pull out.
You pipe down and you just.
Okay, great. So now instead of like shouting a series of invectives at you, it's just like fuck you through the tape on her mouth. And so she's pinned down and you're holding her and she's struggling. The car is like jostling and vibrating. It's got the speed shakes. Nomi, you want to try to, you're like, hold very still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to cut this thing out of her neck.
Okay. All right. So you're going to roll, it's going to be Dex and heal. To cut it out at all, you just need a 7 or better. 7 to 9, you'll deal her 1 damage when you do it. 10 plus, you won't damage her at all.
Can I? So glad we used that.
Can I make a talk roll real quick to potentially help the scenario by whispering in her ear and be like, if I were you, I wouldn't struggle so much. The more you struggle, the more damage there's going to be.
Yeah, do it, Booker. Talk in charisma. Like you like wrestling on the ground and you're like, this part's going to be easier if you don't try to get away.
Exactly. I mean,
she sees the knife coming in.
She's got a choice. Do you want to get stabbed up while moving around or do you want precision work?
And so to finish what I was going to say, Max will try to give you a plus. Okay, Max will not give you a +1. She's just like, fuck you, cop. Nomi, if by some horrific, whatever the opposite of a miracle is, curse, you get 2 1s, you'll just deal her the full knife like damage.
Great. I don't know what the damage is of that, but we'll find out. No, we won't find out because I'm going to ace this. Okay, so heal with Dex.
And it's a heal roll, and so let me just double check on your sheet because you're going to be rolling 3d6 and keeping the
because of the healer focus
highest 2. You do have the 3d6. So just make a heal check with your dexterity.
There you go.
So
6
good.
and 4.
Precision.
No ones. Yes. No ones at all. So you deal her. You don't deal her any damage. You don't deal her any damage, and you just cut the little chip out of her, and you pull it, and she screams, and you yank this little thing out, and it's like a little like hemispherical disc with some blinking LEDs, and then like an antenna, which like kind of goes up behind her ear, but you yank out, so there's like a bloody wire about this long with a little thing on the end. It's just like yoink, and she screams as you yank it out of her. And tries to like grab her head, but she can't, and she kind of flails around a little. And now you're holding this tracking device, and it's like wobbling back and forth like a bobblehead.
It could be like the Matrix fucking squid thing, octopus thing.
Yeah. So meanwhile, these motorcyclists are trying to catch up with you. So Amira, you see before you your two paths, right? It's the like go left, go right. On the left is the drop down into the like mining, the salt mine like gully, or on the right there's the towers, the metal towers. And so you were saying you wanted to like weave in between the towers? Okay.
No, I'm gonna go for the gully actually.
You want to dip down into the gully now and try to close them off?
Yeah, especially if I see her pull the tracker out and I realize like they can't track us anymore. I'm gonna just like, and I'll tell the crew, I'll be like, hold on, I'm gonna try to lose them in the gully, and I'll like fucking book it towards the gully and just like dive.
All right. So I have a question before you make this roll. Do you slow down at all? You're going incredibly fast. So
nominally.
So you do want to back out of like full on speed mode.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna make a pilot roll. But let me give you the bonus.
I do have a question. Pulling it out doesn't disable the tracking device, does it?
No, it's still tracking. You're just tracking empty space now.
Great.
Well,
I mean, it's still tracking us because I'm holding it. So.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. It might as well still be in her. Okay. Here we go. So you're gonna make a pilot roll with a plus. Here we go. Grav car +2 for speed. So make a pilot roll with an additional +2. I'm gonna make a pilot roll, and these guys
jumps up and whispers in her, "You're doing great. You're doing so good."
They're a +1 to stay with you. Okay, difficulty to beat
pray
is
to God.
11.
Okay. And then you said with +2?
Yes, this was a +2 for your speed. Nice. Okay. So here's
Nailed
what
it.
happens. You come up and we see you just drop off, right? Because we stay at eye level with the ground, so it's just like you fall down into this canyon and like hang right past a big chunk of stone. You like rip around the corner. They fall in behind you, and the two of them come up to the end, and the gunners, one of them looks at the other vehicle, and he goes like this on the left. One of them drops in behind you. The other one stays up above, and then kicks into high gear to try to like get past you to the other side of the canyon. This one, the one falls down behind you, and I'm gonna make him make another pilot check to see if he crashes because you're doing these like evasive maneuvers. And now his speed is gonna work against him because he's going fast, and this is not a good place to be going fast. Okay, he holds it together. So there's a narrow, maybe he bounces off the canyon wall, right? There's sparks and it like scrapes paint off the wall, and he rips off towards you. He's following you, but he's like basically 2 integers behind. So if you can get one more, you lose this guy. Up above, the other vehicle is just gunning it as fast as they can along the edge of the canyon, hoping they can rip around the other side and catch up.
Is the one up above us, Adam, keeping pace with us, or is it like
they're going faster
behind
than
us
you
as
now?
well?
No, they're
Okay.
going faster because
So they're not
you had to
taking
slow
shots
down
at
to
us,
survive down here, and they're just like full on giving it. But you can't see them. Like they disappear because there's like stuff above you occasionally, and and they vanish. Okay, so Booker and Nomi, what are you gonna do? You have the tracking device in hand. What's the plan?
I mean, it probably would be easy enough for me to just like toss it out of the vehicle, right?
Yeah, you could just open the door and hook it out there.
Or we could leave it in the vehicle and bail out and crash the thing into the gully.
Yeah,
but then we
that's
have no
also true.
vehicle.
That's true. Okay, I throw it out the window.
Like, valid point.
Okay, all right. I think you're going slow enough that it wouldn't like damage the vehicle or cause the Emir to have to make another roll if you open it. But it suddenly gets very loud. The sound of the wind like ripping across the open surface, and you just open a little bit and huck it out, and it disappears. We see it fly out and smash on the wall. And you continue tearing through this gully. Do you want to let's have you make one more roll as you come to the end of the gully? Kieran, make another pilot roll to lose this guy behind you.
Oh,
nice. Okay. So you're rolling, and did you add the +2 for your vehicle?
I did not.
Vehicle speed. Okay,
I
so
rolled
that's actually
it.
a 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a 12. They got a 9, and I'll make another roll to see if they crash. Nope, another 10. So you lose them. They're slowed down. I think maybe they like they bounce off another wall and they like spin, so their back end is facing towards you, and the bike stalls and they lose out, so they're gonna have to like come out and find you later. You see the other end of the canyon. Luckily, the canyon isn't just like down into a quarry or some shit. You see ahead of you, there's like a pathway leading up that you can kind of like tear up onto.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you're heading for it, and as you come to the end and you start to come up the ramp, we see the bike like pull up in front, and the gunner brings the gun around and takes a shot at you as you approach. And then you'll have to decide whether you want to crash into them or try to avoid them or what. But they're right in front of you, and they've pulled up sideways and stopped. So they have a light machine gun, like a laser machine gun. They're gonna shoot at you. Let's take a look. The armor on your grav car is 4, so I reduce whatever damage by 4. And I think to hit you, like head on, same as them. Let's see how we do. Okay, all right. So the front of the vehicle registers like heat damage as the lasers like hit the front of the car. We see a big burn mark on the windscreen. Doesn't really bother you because your visor is showing you camera feeds from the outside of the vehicle anyway. You see a burn and it like hits the car. They're gonna deal here. How much damage does this? 2d6 minus 4. Yeah, I think that's okay. So minus the armor of the vehicle. Big hit. It's a 7. So the car is warning you, like, please take this vehicle in for service. Damage. Please take your vehicle in for service. And I need you to make a pilot check for me to maintain control.
Okay.
Take the
Oh
hit.
gosh.
Okay, you're fine. Fuck it, no problem. But now you have to decide what to do. So he shoots you. The car doesn't immediately blow up. You don't crash.
Yeah.
The gunner is like slapping the pilot on the back, like, fuck, get out of the way, drive. And you can either try to gun it and ram them, or you can like brake and pull sideways.
Yeah.
You could do another maneuver. You can get, like, pull up so that Booker and Gabriel can shoot
They're
them.
at a
What do you
stop
want to do?
though, right? They're at a stop.
Yeah, like they're idling. Yeah, so if this is sort of the
Well,
canyon.
Running,
I'm not gonna ram into them because that might destroy what's left of the car. So while like the car's shuddering and I'm like trying to maintain control of it, I'm gonna ask Gabriel. I'm gonna tell Gabriel. I'm gonna say, Gabriel, the car won't be able to take much more. Can you get in behind them and take them out?
I'll do my best. And then the gun forms up, and I'll aim. Can I aim? Can I like get ready to take the shot?
So hold on. So what's
teleport behind them?
Help me understand the plan.
Teleport out of the car and just try and.
Yeah.
Here's what happens.
And then I'll pull up in the front, and then we sandwich them.
Gabriel is here, and the plan is for Gabriel to teleport here.
And shoot him in the back.
But then they won't be there, and then the car. Let's just see what, and then. Then Gabriel will be back in the car or all over the front of it.
Well, no, because I'm not going to drive straight in front. I was thinking of like veering off to the side alongside them, like kind of like boxing them in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to crash into them because I don't think the car can take it. But I also don't want to stop in front of them because they have a minigun. So I think it's better if like Gabriel kind of like teleports behind them, lays a couple shots into them, and I'll pull Booker up alongside them to like. So that way we're not
finish them off.
I don't know. That way, yeah. That way it's not like we open the door and they lay into us with a minigun, because that would be terrible.
It's not. Yeah, like it's a machine. It's a vehicle mounted machine gun, but it's not like a huge thing. It's a light machine gun, which is still a machine gun. I'm just looking to see if teleportation maintains momentum or not.
That's what I was just about to ask you, but I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to ask.
Say it.
Already there.
Like. The thing is, like, it must not, because if it did and you teleported off a planet onto a different, onto a space station at high levels, you just go flying out like through the wall.
I don't think it keeps the momentum, so I can use it to save myself from like a fall and stuff like that.
That would be extremely disorienting if you're like going really, really fast and then you teleported and then suddenly you were just still. Like, where does all that force? Where does all that force go? I guess into metadimensional space.
I mean, you're teleporting, right? So in the act of teleporting, it just dissipates any moment.
It might. Yeah, exactly. It might use your momentum. Yeah, always relative to the nearest. Okay, so it's always relative to the nearest gravity well, but also like you're going super fast. I don't think the point here is that you teleport and then suddenly like you just got thrown out of a vehicle. I think it's fine to just say that it uses up your uses up your current momentum. You just suddenly are standing there. All right. Okay. All right. So what's the plan here? Walk me through it. What's phase 1?
So phase 1, I guess, is a mirror veering off to the side in front of them. As she begins to make their way around, I teleport behind them. So whichever direction they're facing, I go on the opposite side.
So they're currently. Yeah. Let me give you their facing. So they're kind of like. They're like this, and the front end of their vehicle is pointing this way. So do you want to go the other way and go like behind them?
Yes. So I'd be appearing. I've forgotten how to like ping on Roll20, but
just click and hold.
Yeah, behind them. There we go.
So where the G is, where the big G. Okay. So you're gonna appear there behind them, but if the car turns this direction, this will become a danger zone because they might pull out in front of you and then you crash into them.
Mm-hmm. But is the canyon wall still there?
Yes. Yeah.
Because you said
yeah,
it's okay. Well, I'm gonna if that happens, I'm gonna kick up
pulled
onto
in
the
this
side
way.
of the canyon wall, and we're gonna do that thing from that
Yes.
MIA video where
100%
you
on
ripped
board.
off the wheel. Yeah, no, that
Right.
we're totally doing that.
You'll come up out of the gully on one side of your like hover thing and just kind of like oh fucking awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
We're doing
so
the 2-wheel
let's
drift. And then Booker's gonna pop up out of the top and just shoot
Kieran
us.
drift.
All right. So
Kieran drift.
Kieran and Gabriel and I will roll initiative. I need to find out what the order is here. So they go on a 3. Okay. Nice. Okay. All right. So it's perfect. So they're like, go, go, go. As you pull up, Kieran, you have the initiative. So you're going to end up like here before they get to do anything. And that's when Mark teleports. Right.
Mhm.
So we have the chaplain teleport there. So suddenly you're standing on the ground with your laser arm and they're sitting there behind you. You can fire. So you teleport over there and fire. We're not going in like combat rounds. I just need to know the order of things.
Yep.
Okay. So I think in this case, make a
So is it me?
Yeah, just
to
make a regular
the
attack roll.
then?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, Gabriel, make that attack
Where's
roll.
a rifle? +2 damage.
Jesus,
14
man, your
damage.
attack rolls today.
I know, it's
You're
insane.
on
I mean, I've got a
fire.
plus
So you
8
just-
in burst fire. I have a +8 to hit with burst, so
So you just hold out your gun arm and just and the guy with the gun, I think he hears the pop and starts to turn and just dies and falls off the back of the motorcycle. And that's when the guy in the bike turns the bike this way and then on his turn fucks off that way as fast as he can. So he like turns and guns it and rips off and heads off in that direction. So the vehicle now pulls up out of the gully onto the desert floor, and we see this from very high above as 2 House Crux fighters like drop into the atmosphere. There's a supersonic boom, and they come barreling down towards the motorcycle as it rips across the landscape. He's trying to get away, and I think that Booker and Nomi on your comms, you hear Cecilia be like, she's like, Papa Bear, this is Eagle One. Give us a target.
Yeah, Booker responds and plays into his like,
This is Papa Bear. Target's right in front of you, ripping off there. Like it gives exact like coordinates and stuff, reading out as it's targeting, on the thing.
You just see
You are
Nomi like
engaged.
staring at him as he's saying, "Yeah, this is Papa Bear," and she's just like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
Yeah, technically Nomi is Papa Bear, but that's fine. So you see on your display, on your little hand terminal, a view of Cecilia sends you a feed from her like nose cam, and it's the vehicle and it's coming through, and you see her like lock on, and she's like, "Oh, this little motherfucker right here, Papa Bear."
You're clear to engage.
Yeah, and she's like, "You heard the man, light him up."
I think that comes after he like looks back at Nomi to see if he probably sees like he's just like,
You're clear to engage.
And yeah, she's like, "You heard the man, light him up." And we see the two vehicles drop down, and the motorcycle is coming forward. And on the front, under kind of nested under both wings, there's a bright glow, and then an enormous explosion. Like just the ground in front of this bike just lifts off like a mile into the air, just throwing debris and like glass dust all over the place. And there's just a crater. The two pilots, they fly past like through the smoke, curve off, and then fly around beside you. Amira, you're like up on one wheel. There's no wheels, but you're up on one side, and then the vehicle drops down. Do you brake? Do you stop here? Because they're technically here to like back you up. Okay, so you stop.
Yeah.
So the two
I'm not
the
gonna
two fighters
leave behind Gabriel either because he's standing there.
yeah,
so.
I'll teleport to the door, get in, like, vroom.
yeah, right. You jump in and then we go. So you pull up to a stop. the fighters have come. They've hooked around and they start coming down next to you. And just before they reach the surface, both fighters reconfigure into their bipedal form. And we see the wings slide back. We see the cockpit like lift up and reconfigure. The seat turns into like a standing harness, and they land. They land on their feet, and Cecilia's cockpit like slides open, and she looks down as you've like pulled up, and the vehicle is open, and she grins at you in the landing configuration. And she says, "Damn, Jason would have loved this shit." And Booker, you see, you see as the door opens. The other vehicle, the pilot's jumping out to come over and like retrieve the asset. And Cecilia gets down, she takes off her helmet, and she walks over. And she says, I think she says to you, Amira, she's like, "Nice car."
It was, says Amira, and she was like kind of kicking the front of it that's now like utterly destroyed. She's not happy about it. She's still got her visor on.
And she says, she looks over her shoulder at the fighters, which you've never seen. Like these, you definitely don't recognize these. And she says, "Yeah, we got some toys too. Straight from Maya. They're hot shit, don't you think?"
I'm out and I'm like, I'd like to give one of those a whirl sometime. Never been in one before. Only ever piloted more pedestrian things.
And she's like, "Don't worry about it. You'll get your shot." And she looks past you and she sees Booker and Nomi, and she's like, "Papa Bear, Big Snake, you got a package for us?"
Booker's like trying to keep it together and not laugh while she calls her Big Snake.
Yeah, Nomi looks a little offended at that.
Such a
also
awkward.
Offended, but
she
like
literally
kind of like not sure how to respond because that was weird.
Well, here's the thing. Technically, and the other pilot is looking at her like, "Oh, you unprofessional piece of shit." Like, technically, she would be like pilot designate like 24754, and she would be assigned a call sign. But she just made these call signs up herself, and she's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna use these. We don't have time." And so she's grinning and is just like, "What do you got for me? I'm here to pick it up."
Booker like suppresses the urge to laugh, kind of like looks at Naomi, is like, "Big Snake's pretty cool." Like, if she doesn't respond, then
no, he just kind of glares. She just kind of glares at him.
Yeah, and then after that, like,
it's not exactly the name I would have chosen.
Good shooting there.
And so you like drag your prisoner out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll pull her out.
So she looks at her and she's like, "You want us to take her back up to the Prudence?"
Yes. This is a very important prisoner, and we need to make sure that she stays under guard. Search her, make sure she has nothing on her.
Okay. So she reaches out and she grabs the prisoner and yanks her over, and she's like, "All right, fuckface, let's go," and like gives her a shove. And she like stumbles, and they take her back and throw her in the back of one of these fighters, and she gets back up into the cockpit, and she gives you a little salute. She's like, "See you in space," and then the thing closes. They reconfigure back into airspace mode, and then take off. And so the group of you are now standing out in the desert with this like shot up trill car, like smoke pouring out of the front end of it. What do you do? This is the kind of the end shot. Does anybody have like a parting statement?
I think Booker like kind of surveys everything, looks at Naomi, who's probably still glaring at him. We're like, "Hello, Noel. I think that went rather well."
Right, perfect. So and so that's when we fade. We fade to credits.
Explodes in the background.
Right. Yeah, The car just thunk, like falls forward, all disabled. Nice, yeah.
Some sort of pop song plays as the
hard
as it
cut
goes
to
by.
credits.
Yeah.
Wow. Good stuff.
Jeez.
Good stuff, everybody.
And we're in on time too. Wow.
Oh, that was
That was
awesome.
great.
Nicely done. Cool. All right. Well, we'll do some shout outs and then we'll do the post show. Nomika, Anne, why don't you start us off?
Great. Yeah, what's up? My name is Big Snake, aka AnneMunition. I am a full-time variety streamer on twitch.tv/AnneMunition. Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff is all the same. I don't think I'm going to stream tonight. I'm pretty sure I won't, but I will let you guys know on Twitter if I change my mind. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow, probably between noon and 2 p.m. playing some Siege. I don't know. I'm scared to play Siege now. I hit Plat 1 for the first time, and then now I just don't want to play ever again. So we'll see. I don't know. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Excellent. Max?
Big Snake.
This is Papa Bear. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. This is a fantastic episode. I look forward to talking about it. But yeah, if you guys want to check me out on anything else, I'm a variety broadcaster that plays all sorts of stuff. Been playing through Red Dead Redemption 2. Been doing a little bit of Fallout 76 beta when that's been up. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Follow me on all the things to check out my stuff personally if you want to. Thanks for watching the show as always. Hope you enjoyed it. This is a good one. Papa Bear out.
Thanks, Papa
Papa
Bear.
Bear signing off.
Bronze.
Hi, hello. I'm that bronze girl. I don't have a cool call sign, but that's okay. I'm a full-time content creator on Twitch. I'm normally I'm an early morning person, so that's usually where you'll find me. I talk about comic books and normal books a lot. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at the same handle, that bronze girl. Best pilot in the system.
You
Okay,
killed it.
maybe
You killed it
you
on those
didn't-
rolls.
Maybe you didn't get a call sign, but I'm pretty sure that they're gonna have like middle school textbooks that they're gonna like teach the little children about, like the kids
Yeah.
who want to go to like Pilots Academy. You're like, okay, here's the
Kieran
American
Cord did the Berkman
Kieran
run.
curve, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Kieran
Exactly.
Drift and the Miracle Whip.
Yeah. Fantastic. Awesome.
Miracle Whip?
Last but not
fantastic.
least,
Miracle Whip, yeah. I like
yeah,
that
Miracle
one.
Whip. Yeah, that's the name of the
Yeah.
car. Last but not least, our Crusader Gabriel, everybody's favorite teleporting priest, Mark.
Hello. I also didn't get a cool call sign. But if you want to check me out, I do a lot of D&D stuff is my main thing. You can watch me on High Rollers, which is the D&D show I GM. That's every Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time, GMT, over on twitch.tv/High Rollers D&D. You can also follow it on Twitter, High Rollers D&D, for getting all the updates when we go live and stuff like that. Awesome show. Can't wait to talk about it in the post show. Don't forget to check out the Q&A and stuff as well, which I'm sure Adam will mention. Always fun seeing people's questions and thoughts over on that as well.
Thanks, dude. Yes, as Mark pointed out, I'm just about to hit publish on our Q&A thread for today's episode. I'll post that in the chat, and you can go check it out. Ask us questions, shower us with accolades, whatever. Complain about how I wouldn't allow you to have transforming robots, but I gave it to the PCs. Listen, they're special. All right, it's fine. But yeah, so we're coming up on the end of, if you want to get pins, Verona pins, which I suggest you should do if you want to pick them up. itmeJP/merch. So those are going to be available until the 9th, and then I think we're doing rotating sets. So if you want one specifically, go get it now. I got mine, and they're all beautiful.
They're awesome.
Check that out.
Is there a way to just buy all of them at once, or do I have to do all of?
Yes,
separately?
there is. Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
bundle?
You can buy them all like right now.
Bundle me,
Yeah, I think there's a
baby.
way to pick 'em up.
There's a
Yeah,
button.
that's what I did. There should be a way to do that. So yeah, go check that out, and we'll be back with more next time. You can find me in the interim right here running Dungeons and Dragons. We do Court of Swords every Tuesday, and we'll be back again next time for more Far Verona. Check me out at Twitter at skinnyghost, twitch.tv/Adam Coble, and I guess it sounds like the Berkman situation's wrapping up, so I'm gonna need to do some GM prep. So I'll try to find a time to schedule that. Yeah, everybody gets XP. So what's great is that everybody's goal was the same. You all had the same goal, right? Figure out Carson's contact, make contact with Alders. It's the same person. So everybody gets XP. You did it. You did it. Congratulations. So everybody mark XP. And
one away from leveling up.
Get on that troll shuttle for level 4.
I'm still so far behind on levels.
Yeah, well, because you missed some time.
I know.
Also. But we're gonna go and record the post show. If you want to be involved in that or take place in all of the fun Far Verona faction stuff, all the lore building and the community stuff, that all happens on Discord through patreon.com/rollplay. So go and check that out. JP and I will be back on Friday morning to do our patron Q&A. So if you're a patron, come on by in Friday morning and we'll answer some questions. But I think that's it. That's all the stuff I have to say. I'm gonna go. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next time there's an episode. Bon voyage.